Wow. Yeah.
What do you remember from? You said you remembered something when you were 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
What do you remember?
Well, I remember when I lived in Waterville, me and this other kid I used to play with. I remember the sidewalk, long sidewalk went down to this apartment house. And up at the street there where the sidewalk started, and across the street from there was a house where my folks lived in. And I remember me and that other kid, we used to burn trash in the curb in those days, you know.
Oh, so instead of it going to a dump or something?
We blocking their faces with all that ashes and stuff.
Oh my God.
Trying to scare my mother. She was hanging clothes out back in the house. We were peeking around the house and trying to scare her. You know what happened to me? I was in the bathtub in about 2 seconds after. But I recall that. I remember that.
Can you tell me the story about Grammy again? Remember you asked her out and then she said no. Grammy, when she said no, she couldn't go, and then you ended up seeing her on the bus. Remember when you asked Grammy out and she said she couldn't go?
You wanted to take her to a movie?
To a prom or something?
I was going to a movie. She was going to a movie. We was on the same bus, but we went a different way.
Oh wait, and then when you did go on a date and you picked her up, remember in the car, in your dad's car or something?
My father's car.
Yeah.
My father had a car. It was it was an invalid that the family, and they took out the 2 bucket seats in the front.
Uh-huh.
They took one of the bucket seats out, and they put a wheelchair in there.
Uh-huh.
When my father got the car, the seat was gone. We put a kitchen chair in there to sit on.
So you picked Grammy up, and she sat in the kitchen chair.
Let the cold air out.
Sat in this kitchen chair, and I drove. Oh, crazy.
We have to eat at the table if you do.
Do you remember where you took her? Do you remember where you guys went on your date?
At the table. That's Grammy's seat.
Yeah.
Probably a movie.
Yeah. Was it sound or no sound?
I used to take my father's car, go in town, go to the movie, park the car on the street, one of the side streets. I come out of the movie, I couldn't remember where I parked the car.
Oh.
He used to walk all over that city looking for it. Then it would come to me after a while. Yeah, crazy. He used to buy these old cars, these Buicks and Packards and stuff like that. And half the car was the engine. So I always had big engines.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Grammy, do you remember that? Grampy picking you up in the car that had a kitchen chair for the seat?
Yeah, what? Oh, yeah.
What did you think when he picked you up? Okay. Kai, can you get a cookie for Isaiah? He must have been really handsome for you to keep going on dates with him after he picked you up with the car.
I think I called you up a few times before you go with me.
Well, he told us that he asked you out to something, and you said you couldn't go, and then he saw you on the bus, and then you guys ended up going to the same.
I got on the bus, and he was on the bus, and you was going to a movie, and I was going to a movie. You went to your movie, and I went to mine.
That I don't remember. I think he drove it. What's that light for?
Oh, it's my camera.
I remember one time, though, I was up at the house there, and I knew all about electricity and stuff like that, you know, and And that her father was going to want to put outlets in the house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, of course, I'm trying to volunteer my services.
Yeah.
And I said, you could put an outlet here and outlet there. He said, you're not going to cut my house full of holes. So I shut my mouth.
Yeah.
He was a little hard to get along with. You know, the funniest thing is, with us, he was always, I don't know, just like he didn't want you around or didn't bother with us or anything. And I was at a funeral parlor one time when this friend of ours died, and Kay Farrell, was a friend of mine, saw this priest there. And she said, oh, this is, remember, they used to call him Unc. My father was Unc.
Oh, really? Yeah.
This was Aunt Tom's daughter, and he's, oh my gosh, we had so much fun with him. We did this, and I thought, he's got the wrong guy. We did this, and we did that. But then I heard later from other people that he was really, you know,
Really? Yeah.
full of it. But he wasn't with us.
Really? His own kids? You'd think that, huh?
Well, I told you about when I got all A's and I wanted a nickel. For the whole year, I got all A's.
Uh-huh.
And I said, can I have a nickel for that? And he says, what do I care if you get all A's? I'm not giving you any nickel.
Oh.
I mean, so then it makes
He
the
was a
kid
funny
feel like,
son of
well,
a
why
guy.
bother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was awful kind of. But he got along with my sister. She was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after they had the first one, he probably didn't want any more.
More,
And I was
yeah.
the third
I-
one, the last.
Oh, wow.
I get in his confidence
Well,
after a
I
while.
thought it was four of you all together. There's three
No.
of you?
No, just my sister and then one
Brother.
brother and then me.
How did you get his confidence, Grampy?
But he wasn't too crazy about
Well, they bought a camp up the
my
lake.
brother either. So
Yeah.
it was my
Then
sister.
we
She
should
was
have-
the only one that
And I-
was really good to.
Yeah.
I was good size then. I rented a sanding machine and sanded the floors. Big, geez, they would all break and everything, you know. Cause, you know, after I sanded them, he fixed them up. He varnished them.
Up to his camp.
Huh?
Up to his camp.
Yeah, up
Where was his camp?
Okay, Kai, don't be too rough.
He had a little Sebago.
Oh. Where was it, like, compared to where your camp was?
Huh?
Was it big Sebago?
Little Sebago.
I can't
I
remember.
don't know whether
Okay,
it was
that's enough.
up there at Jordan's Bay or not. I can't remember.
You got cookies all in your mouth. No, after you finish with cookie.
Hi, Joey.
Cookie juice, cookie juice.
He liked to have Betty and Herschel go up there because Herschel worked like a dog all the time he was up there.
Hi, Isaiah.
Get me,
I got you.
get me,
I got you.
get my eye.
There's your door, Joey. Daddy.
Cause it Kai.
I remember one time he says, John, he says, I'll give you $100 if you paint my back stairs. I says, I don't want your $100. I'll paint the stairs. Never mind that. Never mind, he says.
He was a jokester, your father?
He was what?
A jokester?
No, really.
No, he
Not
was
to them.
serious.
You thought he was serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was kind of mean.
Oh. I guess he didn't want to feel like he owed you anything.
Well, I told you about the time we bought a new Buick,
Oh.
the car. So I wanted to show it to them, and I said, we got a new car. And he said, what is it?
Kai, people like
And I said, we got a new Buick. It was really a nice car.
Uh-huh.
And he looked out the window and he said, oh, Jesus, a raggedy-ass Buick.
He owned one himself.
He had two.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
my goodness.
So, geez, a raggedy-ass Buick. I guess.
Whoa. Kai, you
You
alright?
hit your face on the thing?
You tripped on the rug.
Mm.
The chair thing is.
What are you doing with that thing?
Don't play.
I took a video. I'm gonna call it Conversations with Grammy and
After a
Grampy.
while, he took me in his confidence. And he began to ask me questions about doing this and doing that.
Oh, yeah?
I remember one time down cellar, I can't remember what it was. And he got me, he got real serious with me. He says, John, he says, how do you do this and how do you do that? And I was telling him how to do it. So that began, getting his confidence. And after that, he was treating me a lot better.
Oh, nice.
We used to have
What did he
people-
do for a living?
He
Oh,
worked
we
in a
worked in
machine
different
shop.
places.
Yeah.
He's a machinist.
You're a machinist.
Yeah.
Mommy,
What was I going to say? I lost. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry about that.
You want to go look for
Oh, I was going
Monster?
to say, he was into like electronic, like Young Johnny. That's where
Oh,
Young Johnny
really?
was.
Yeah.
We had people that would come to the house. They
Oh,
couldn't
don't do that,
believe